Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. On today's tutorial, I will demonstrate how to sew an exposed metal zipper to the center front of a blouse. Hi, my name is Ayo and welcome to 011 Clothing Tutorials. On this channel, I upload DIYs, pattern drafting and sewing tutorials. If you haven't subscribed yet, kindly do so, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. So now, let's get right into the tutorial. Thank you! I'll be working with the following items. This is the front piece of the blouse that I intend to make. I have already ironed the center front of this front piece, so there is a crease line at the center front of this front piece. I have also fused interfacing to the wrong side of the front piece where the zip will be fixed at the center front. I have here this piece that will be used as the zip guard. It will protect the wearer's skin against the harsh feel of metal on the skin. I have already fused interfacing to the wrong side of the zip guard. It is 4 inches wide and 11.5 inches long. And as you can see, I have already pressed it into 2 equal halves. I have here this metal zip that is of a matching color with the main fabric. I have here these small scissors for precision cutting. I will also use this pen. I also need a straight edge, and this pattern master or any other ruler will do the job. This is the front piece. I have pressed in place the center front crease line, as you can see, and I have fused interfacing to the wrong side at the center front where the zip will be fixed. This is the zip that I will be working with. When working with a metal zip, you should always remember that you cannot sew across or on the zipper teeth. So the extra tape at the upper part and also at the lower part of the zip must be well utilized. First, you have to decide right now how you intend to finish the neckline of your blouse. I will use a ready-made bias tape to finish the neckline, so I need a sewing allowance of 1/4 inch above the zipper teeth stopper at the upper part of the zip. So I will measure and mark 1/4 inch above the zip stopper like this. If you intend to use a neckline facing, you may need up to 1/2 inch seam allowance above the zipper teeth stopper. I will mark this 1/4 inch allowance on the wrong side of the zip as well, just in case. At the lower part of the zip, where the zip stopper ended, I will measure and mark 1 cm or 3/8 of an inch from the middle of the zip on both sides. This should be done on the wrong side of the zip. I will now position the zip on the front piece like this. The points that I marked at the upper part of the zip should align exactly with the top edge of the neckline. The crease line at the center front of the front piece should be used as a guide to position the zip in place properly. I will mark the point where the stopper ended at the lower part of the zip on the fabric like this. I will draw a vertical line up to this point like this on the center front crease line. I will also draw a short horizontal line across like this. I will now place the zip on the right side of the front piece like this, with the right side of the zip facing down. I will pin the zip in place. First, I will change my regular machine foot into a zipper foot. The zipper foot will make it possible for me to sew up to the very end of the stopper. I will now do the stitching. I have already marked the area that will be sewn. This is the 1 centimeter that I marked on both sides from the middle of the zip. The stitching should be done about 3 to 4 times so as to secure the end of the zip firmly in place. I will remove the pins. From the stitching line, I will measure and mark 2 cm or 3/4 of an inch upwards on the middle vertical line that I drew on the center front of the front piece. I will draw an upward facing V like this. Using my small precision scissors, I will cut the fabric like this on the vertical line that I drew earlier on the crease line at the center front. Then I will snip into the corners. I will now go ahead and sew the edges of the zip tape to the slashed center front of the front piece. The edges of the zip must perfectly align with the edges of the center front that was slashed. The sewing must be done with the zip in full view at the upper part so that you can clearly see what you are sewing. The stitching must be done starting from the 1 centimeter points that were marked at the lower part of the zip up to the upper part of the zip at the neckline. Also, the stitching lines must be perfectly straight. The metallic zipper teeth and the zipper foot should prevent any wonky seams as you sew along. This is a close-up of the sewing. As you can see, the 2 seam lines started at exactly these 2 1 centimeter points. Also, the edges of the zip tape align with the edges of the fabric. So now the stitching has been done, as you can see. This is the zip guard and I have already overlocked the edge. I will unzip the zip and the zip guard will be placed underneath it like this. I will turn the front piece to the wrong side like this. Using a needle and a thread, I will tag the zip guard in place like this. I will now take it to my sewing machine and I will top stitch it in place like this first. Then I will also top stitch it in place like this in this other direction. I will now go ahead and do the stitching. I have already changed back to the regular machine foot. I will unzip the zip and I will do the first top stitching like this. I will also do the second top stitching like this. With this second top stitching, I have secured the zip guard firmly in place. I will now trim off the excess zipper tape and fabric at the upper parts of the neckline. I will remove the tacking thread. I will reduce the excess at this lower section and I will go ahead and overlock it. I have sewn the front and the back pieces together at the shoulders, as you can see. I have overlocked the raw edges. I have also overlocked this lower edge of the zip guard. I will now go ahead and use this ready-made bias tape to finish the neckline of the blouse. With the right sides of the bias tape and the main fabric together, I will fold over the end of the bias tape to the other side like this. I will sew the bias tape to the neckline of the blouse using 1/4 inch sewing allowance. Once I approach the end of the neckline, I will trim off the excess bias tape, but I will leave about 1/2 inch extra, which I will fold over to the other side like this. Then I will sew to the end of the neckline. Next, I will understitch the seam allowance to the right side of the bias tape like this. I will carefully arrange the bias tape like this. I will fold under the 1/4 inch seam allowance at the edge of the bias tape like this. With the wrong side of the fabric facing up, I will sew the bias tape in place about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge of the bias tape. So now the stitching has been done, as you can see, and I've given the neckline a thorough press with my pressing iron, and this is the final look of the exposed zipper sewn at the center front of this blouse. If you find this video helpful, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, share this video with your friends who are interested in sewing, and do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. See you in my next tutorial. Bye, and thank you so much for watching.